Geopolitics. Oh, fuck. Fuck, where'd it go? Okay. Holy fuck. Okay. Okay. Oh. Okay. Okay. Yeah, first thing first. Yeah, brief the president. I mean, wait, was that the White House? Yeah. So enter from the. Where's all the others? What was all the? What the hell? Where'd it go? Okay. Okay. Normally I do not watch things twice, but I completely forgot the advice. Hold on. Where's the transcript? Yeah, show transcript. Where's the? I remember this one. Mm-hmm. Okay, what do you want? Three things. You want things to change? Third piece of how do not feed. Third piece of advice. What's the second piece of advice? Advice. You have the right to want things. There we go. You have the right to want something. Oh my god. You have the right to want something. Yeah. Hi, Mr. President. It's Monday, August 4th, 2025, 5:23 p.m. for me. 11 hours for you, 11
Phenomenal numbers in terms of the business we do with other countries.
I mean, you know what I just found out?
I mean, really phenomenal.
That earthquake, tsunami, it might have damaged 6 Russian submarines. So, I mean, do we really want to warn them now?
Negative number. All of the numbers seem to be great.
I mean, I need to tell you, right? I don't know.
On Biden's economy. Phenomenal numbers.
I mean, a tsunami should destroy a nuclear submarine, right?
That those numbers were wrong.
Because if you get hit by a tsunami, it's a boat that's supposed to be underwater. Well, how much damage could it take, right? Yeah, it should be fine. It should be fine. There's no problem.
Additional scam.
I mean, the scaffolding for the submarines are destroyed, but the submarines themselves should be fine. Because
I've already put out a statement.
can I do it? Yeah, I'm recording now.
Yeah, where they have to be.
Witkoff's message will be to the Russians is there anything they can do to avoid sanctions at this point?
Ceasefire. Isn't that what?
People stop getting killed.
Yeah, isn't that what
A
President said?
number that just came out that a tremendous number of Russian soldiers are being killed, and likewise Ukraine, a lower number, but still thousands and thousands of people. And now
Am I
we're
typing?
adding towns where they're being hit by missiles. So it's a lot of people being killed in that ridiculous war.
So my hands will not be okay.
We stopped
Should be able to type my
a
password.
lot of countries from war. India, Pakistan. We stopped a lot of countries.
Yeah.
And,
So I guess there's a possibility I am not marrying Alexis, right? I don't know.
That's really horrible.
I still don't know.
Well, you heard about
I mean-
Cambodia and Thailand.
Yeah.
That one done. We got
Yeah.
the Congo, which was going there for
Democratic
31
Congo
years.
and Rwanda.
That one's
Not
done.
bad. Not bad.
We stopped a lot of wars. This is the one we seem to be.
Having a little bit of trouble with.
This should be the easiest to stop. And
So, Mr. President, heads up,
I mean, Rwanda and Congo were going on 31 years, and I got it stopped.
because I don't
8 million people
know.
dead, at least.
Andrew doesn't know
I
if
think the number's much higher.
Alexis' boyfriend is a Russian spy.
Rwanda and the Congo, they were
I'm not,
great.
I mean, they're not. He's not a Russian spy. I mean, is he?
They wanted
Is he
to
just
stop.
an idiot?
31 years it went on.
Because you just shook your head, so he's not a Russian spy. Just an idiot.
Serbia, Kosovo,
Just an idiot.
would
Okay.
be,
As long as he's just an idiot, then.
I don't believe it will now, so we stopped that one too. Yes.
You said you had more of an update to give us on Gaza, on the Gaza trip. Can you give us anything
Only,
now?
we want the people fed. And we're the only country that's really doing
Yeah, but that's the
it.
thing. I
Get the
mean,
people fed.
if I tell you in the
Woodcock is doing a great
past,
job.
oh god.
And we want,
Because if I tell you in the past that you shook your head if I ask him, and then you have to shake your head, doesn't necessarily mean he's not a Russian spy. Same thing with Keir Starmer, right?
so the people
Because I
can
told
be
Keir
fed.
Starmer that he nodded his hand when he said he was a Russian spy, so we don't know, right? You might not be able to tell me if he's a Russian spy or not.
Evidence of a genocide
Right.
in Gaza?
I don't think it's
Yeah.
look, they're in a war. Some
Yeah.
horrible things happened on October 7th, as you know. It was a horrible, horrible thing. One of the worst I've ever seen. I've seen a lot of bad things since I'm president in terms of wars and potential wars. I mean, if you look at the one that we just stopped.
Yeah, I'll bet Alexis hasn't seen it either, or Ali Michelle.
Already at the border between Thailand and
I haven't seen it. Andrew hasn't seen it.
thousands of people. And I mean, I've seen some bad things, but that October 7th was with Hamas was really, really bad.
President, can you give us an update on Steve Witkoff in Russia and what happens on Friday if the deadline comes and Russia
Is that
does
the-
not agree to a ceasefire?
Well, there'll be sanctions, but they seem to be.
Is that
pretty
what
good
we're
at
doing
avoiding
this? 'Cause
sanctions, you know.
Is that Friday? 10 days
Wily
from.
characters, and they're pretty good at avoiding sanctions.
So it's the
we'll
29,
see
10
what
days.
happens.
1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. No, she's right.
Talking about with Gaza, getting
She's
people
right.
fed.
Friday is the day.
And he may be going, I think next week, Wednesday or Thursday, may be going to Russia.
No,
They would like
last
to see
chance.
him. They've asked that he meet, so we'll see what happens.
We'll see what happens. Yeah,
What
last
advice
chance.
do you have for Republicans on Capitol Hill heading into midterms? What do they need to do? What can they do to, hold
One of the
chances?
things they're going to be talking about pretty soon are the tremendous drop in drug prices. You know, we've cut drug prices by 1,200, 1,300, 1,400, 1,500%. I don't mean 50%. I mean 14, 1,500%. Because we're going favored nations.
Wait, how long have they been dating?
Europe gets. We want the same prices other country gets. And over the years,
How long
25,
has
30 years ago, it
Taylor
started
Swift
when they were
and
charging us much more.
Travis
I put it
Kelce
into it, you know, with the letter that you saw last week.
been dating? How
I
long?
think that's going to be a point. I don't know how anybody could win an election if
Somewhere
they're
since
on the other side of that issue. So we'll be dropping drug prices. It'll start over the next 2 to 3 months by 1,200, 1,300, and even 1,400%, and 500%, but not just 50% or 25%, which normally would be a lot, because the rest of
Any
the world
news
has
about her
much
getting
less
married or something?
with the identical drug, and we're going to be paying the same thing. We're going to have
Anything new? Nope, no news at all.
As low as the lowest nation in the world.
There's no news about Alexis at all. I mean,
29 billion
no.
in July taken in tariff revenue. You know, could we see a potential rebate here, and what would that look like, and who would qualify?
Well, we're going to pay down
You have the
debt.
right to
We have a
vote,
lot of
that's
money
it.
coming in, much more money than the country's ever seen, by
Best
hundreds
advice,
of billions
yeah.
of dollars. And there could be a distribution or
What do
dividend
I really
to the
want,
people of our
man?
country. I would say for people that would be middle income people and lower income people, we could do a
What does
dividend.
Andrew really
But,
want?
one of the things we're going to be doing is reducing debt. But we have hundreds of billions of dollars pouring into our country.
everyone will
now.
like
We
True
should have
Love.
done this many
Everyone like
years
True
ago.
Love.
And I did it in my first term with China. We didn't get to the rest because COVID hit. And you couldn't really go to France and Spain
It's August
and
4th.
Italy and say, let's start
August
talking
4th,
about some tariffs. But China was paying us hundreds of billions of dollars in tariffs. And we did it. And then Biden screwed it all up. He screwed everything he touched. He screwed
Yeah.
up. Thank you.
When have you been? Will you
And 'cause this is-
some
yeah.
fears in the Virginia governor's race?
Yeah, I would. I would. I think probably she's got a tough race. She shouldn't have. But because
Virginia
the
race?
candidate she's running against is not very good. But I think she's got a tough race. But
Virginia governor?
When you
I'm
swear
sorry.
in Janine Pirro to be the U.S. Attorney for D.C.
Swear in Janine Pirro, who's going to be fantastic at what she does in D.C. Over the next very short period of time. I think she's going to be fantastic. Don't forget, Janine Pirro was a great judge and a great prosecutor. And because she was so good,
This
I was
year,
there. She was an amazing prosecutor and judge. And because she was so good, they drafted her into show business. And she did fantastic. You know, The Five was the #1 show, etc., etc. Janine Pirro was also really good at
Ooh.
that. But her real love is exactly what she's doing. And that's what made her such a success in show business. So Janine Pirro is going to be amazing. And I'll swear her in as soon as we can swear her in. We need her. She's going to be amazing.
Are you happy with how the Rose Garden turned out? And will you have some kind of event? The Rose Garden, are you happy with how it turned out?
Yeah, nice black
Reviews
ladies.
at the Rose Garden, and we had to do it. As an example, when we had a press conference, you'd sink into the mud. And it was grass, and it was very wet, always wet, damp, but wet. And if it rained, it would take 3, 4, 5
How long does
days
it take
for
to
it
make?
dry out. And we couldn't use it for really the intended purpose. So
Yeah.
whether they had events or they had news conferences, we couldn't use it. And it's a beautiful white stone, and it's a stone that's the same color as the White House itself. And because it's very white, it's going to reflect the heat. It's not going to be very hot, like if you had a dark stone. So, yeah, we've gotten great reviews on the Rose Garden.
Any update on the search for the Federal Reserve Board? Have you been interviewing
Yeah, no, I have a couple of people in mind. I'll be announcing somebody for the filling of the.
We definitely want to finish it before your presidency,
a
right?
Biden appointment, either Biden or Obama, but I think a Biden appointment, and she left early, and I think.
And how
she
do we
left
build
because
this thing
we agreed with me
fast?
on interest rates, and yet they were on the other side of the ballpark, right?
You start building next
So I'll
month,
be announcing that
and
probably over the next couple of days.
can we build it fast? I mean, because government building is so slow, it's
As you
ridiculous.
continue to, pile up these trade deals, are you kind of gaining more leverage over countries that haven't come out, made a
I'm
deal?
not looking for leverage. I'm looking for fairness. We want reciprocal as much
Oh,
as
that is
possible.
diplomatic answer.
Sometimes reciprocal.
That's
would
what
be
I would have answered yes.
handled because it would be a
Andrew would have
much
answered
bigger
yes, yeah.
number. But we want to see
I would have
some
answered yes, yeah.
reciprocity. We want to see reciprocal wherever we can. And all I can
Sure.
say is this: our country will be taking in hundreds of billions of dollars. You just said it. Already
Yeah.
we're taking in, billions and billions of dollars, and it was very unfair. The world treated us very unfair. But the next big move is going to be the price of drugs. Because you could buy something in London or in Germany, someplace in Germany or many countries where it's 1/10, 1/3, 1/4, but sometimes 1/10 the price of what it costs to buy it in New York or some other place.
No, it's not
And
so
we're not
nice.
doing
Yeah.
that anymore. We're not allowing that anymore. That started many years ago when people were asleep at the wheel in this country.
1 minute,
They
15
allowed that
seconds
to
left in the
happen,
question.
and I'm stopping it.
How the UN ambassador, will that still be a cabinet level position, sir, or not?
I don't know. I haven't determined that yet.
Yeah.
Oh, that's a good question.
We'll
I'll
figure
make
it
a
out.
decision. He's a very good guy, but I'll make a decision.
I've been talking to Julia Ioffe about President Putin.
With Laura Loomer, what kind of influence does she have
I
in the White
think
House?
she's very nice. I mean, I know she's known as a radical.
Putin's Revenge Part
right,
1.
But I think Laura Loomer is a very nice person. I've known her for a long time.
Yeah, I'm just trying to learn as much as about President Putin as possible I can, so
And she gets
so
excited.
just wanted to
because
let
of
you
the
know.
fact that she's a patriot.
No clue
And
what
she
Alexis is
doesn't
going to
like
decide now.
Things going on that she thinks
I
are
still
bad
have
for
my
the country.
superpowers, Mr.
I like
President,
it.
and I'm still a Republican, Mr. President, so that's all that matters, right? I
After
mean,
Sydney Sweeney, it came out this week.
if I have to switch a wife, switch a future wife, I mean...
Sydney Sweeney, she's like a very hot actress
Oh.
right
She's a
now.
registered
Oh, okay, I got to skip this one. I saw this one
I
already.
love her act.
Okay, that's all. Ooh, I don't know.
Most of the people.
Hi,
who
Julia.
voted
It's
technically
next day
voted
now.
for him.
I went to
Yes, they
sleep.
did. Did he technically win
It's
every
August
election he's
August
run in?
4th, 2025,
He
Monday now. It's
absolutely
Monday.
did.
5.
Is he a Democrat
5:35
elected
p.m.
president of Russia? No,
5:35
he's not.
p.m.
Right,
and,
because the elections weren't free and fair because the political system is absolutely rigged and.
I don't know if President
Kremlin.
Trump is going to
And-
likely
and
doing this,
so
but
it is with the Security Council meeting. Did he ask
So,
everybody's
you-
opinion?
do you remember that
Yes, he did.
earthquake I told you about?
Did
8.8 earthquake with the tsunami.
Volunteered
It hit
themselves,
a Russian.
technically.
It hit a Russian
The
submarine
idea
base.
that Putin should recognize these breakaway republics.
I don't know if
they
I
did.
took out. I mean,
Was it
it shouldn't be possible,
done
right?
voluntarily? Do
Tsunami,
they
submarine,
really
tsunami,
believe
submarine,
that
submarine
that
should be
have
fine,
been
right? I
done?
mean, what kind of I don't know.
Probably not. We don't know.
So-
but it's this
I don't know, yeah.
Soviet
I don't know.
obsession with bureaucracy and
And,
ticking the
yeah.
boxes and
And President Trump
insisting on
shook his
reform
head
while
when I asked him
completely
if Alexis' boyfriend is a
abandoning
Russian
or
spy.
perverting
But Keir Starmer's
substance.
nodded his head, so I don't know. I have no
If that makes
idea.
sense.
I have no idea if
It
Alexis'
does, and it's
boyfriend
very
is
helpful.
a Russian
We're
spy.
probably gonna follow.
He might just be an idiot.
Follow that.
Like she could have just
In
dated
the
an
moment
absolute
of
fucking
him
idiot.
announcing what he calls the special
Yeah,
operations,
that's
the
entirely
war.
possible. Because
War
by 2022, I am working in a
and
warehouse
that moment.
now, Amazon warehouse,
So we see
working a labor job.
Russia
And
into
young
this
Andrew's
war.
working a labor
Does it
job, but
feel
young
to
Andrew
you
in
like
2022
the culmination
has
of
rediscovered he has
lifetime
superpowers, and
from
he's searching.
the KGB
The me in the past in
rising up,
2020 is
that-
searching
that
for his
this
one
is
true
a-
love.
This is a seminal moment
Because I
for
understood.
him or something he's been
I mean,
building towards.
Anyway,
I think it's too pat to say that it's something he's been building toward his whole life from his days in the KGB, etc.
Yeah.
I think that's
Fucking
too
time machine,
pat a
right?
narrative. I think he's clearly been building up to this for the last decade
yeah.
and definitely for the last few years. That speech was really interesting because it was not about
I mean, what do you
NATO.
think is more important, right,
It wasn't
Julia?
even really about
Time
Ukraine.
machine or
It
NATO?
was mostly about the US.
Time machine or
It
Ukraine,
was
right?
about this eschatological battle
Exactly,
between
eschatological.
Russia and the US, between Washington and Moscow.
America has a
Whether
time
it was
machine,
Soviet Moscow
and
Cold
Russia
War
doesn't like an
Washington
American as a
or
time
the
machine.
present day
It's a
versions.
time person.
It almost didn't matter, and it felt like he had this unfinished Cold War business with the US.
Exactly.
Like he wanted
And you
to
know
finish
why,
the
right?
fight that had,
Have I ever told you about
ended
Jaws,
in a
the movie
draw
Jaws in
almost
1976?
in 1991. So in that sense,
I
think
saw
it is
the
a culmination
director's
of that
cut
kind
of Jaws in the
paranoia,
theater
Cold War
in 4th of
thinking
July 2024
he
at
absorbed
a theater
the
in Santa
KGB.
Monica.
what I think is really
because it's a
important to
film
convey to
festival
people
thing, and they
who have
took
never
the
met somebody
director's
who
cut
used to
or
work in the
something.
KGB or in the
And I
FSB,
told them
is that
everything
these
about what
people
I can
are
do,
incredibly paranoid.
including.
They're incredibly conspirologically minded.
Oh,
it's
that's
this
why this
KGB way of
conspirological.
thinking that every door is a
Yeah.
trap door, every wall has, some kind of secret
Yeah,
hiding place behind it. I don't know how to
I explain that.
explain
Yeah.
it, right? That everything is a false bottom, that everybody has a puppeteer, that
Oh man, what's
just
with all
like in the
these?
Cold War, every war was a proxy between the Soviet Union and the US, so it
Yeah,
is here. And
notifications there.
so if Russia has designs on Ukraine and the West is against it, that must be because
Yeah.
Ukraine is a puppet of the US. What was also interesting about that speech was, it was about half an hour. The first 15 minutes were about the US. So we in the West have come to think of the Cold War as a bad thing.
Yeah, that's what I
We
wanted to mention.
celebrated its end. We unanimously
I
think
remember
that the
coming
end of the Cold War
to the United
is an
States,
unalloyed
Julia, and living with my
Putin does not
aunt
agree.
and uncle in Long
and
Beach.
he first laid this out
In
for the
Long
world
Beach, California.
in 2007
Long
at
Beach,
the Munich
California.
Security Conference when he said
Somewhere off of Cherry Avenue. Somewhere.
Cold
The
War
exit
was
for Cherry
good.
Avenue.
he said it was a bipolar
The moment
world.
I touched
One
US
pole
soil,
center of power was in
I
Washington
saw
and
the,
the other was in Moscow.
I
and
saw
they
the
balanced each other
I saw
and
the
they
Berlin Wall
provided
fall down.
checks on each other.
The moment
And he said,
Andrew became
and
an
this is a quote,
American,
he said it provided for
the
global
Soviet
security,
Union.
which of course ignores the fact that there were bloody proxy wars everywhere.
you know,
Angola, Mozambique, Nicaragua, Ethiopia, Vietnam, El Salvador. But in his mind, it was a good time. Russia was on top of the world. Russia was one of the two big guys calling the shots. Moscow's opinion always had to be taken into account. Moscow had to be asked for permission. Moscow
Something I
could
don't
mess
know,
up
Julia,
Washington's
about
plans anywhere in the world. And
Alexis
he would
is
like
part
to get
German
back to
and part
that.
Russian.
And
Born
the
in
same way that
1996.
in 2007, he laid at
Andrew
the
doesn't
US's
know if
doorstep
Alexis'
all the
parents
faults
are Russian spies.
and all the
so.
problems that had come out of this new unipolar world order, as he called it, with only the U.S. calling the shots. And I mean, this was 2007. That was the height of the insurgency in Iraq.
Yeah.
Afghanistan was starting to go sideways. Bush's program of democracy promotion all over the world was bringing revolution to countries in Russia's orbit, former Soviet republics. And he said, this unipolar world order, what has it gotten? It has gotten us blood and chaos in Iraq, in Afghanistan. And he reprised that theme again when he
Only
announced
because
that he was
Andrew
invading
wasn't
Ukraine.
helping.
He said again, this is not okay. America can't call all the shots. The Cold War was good. Now that there's no balance, no counterweight to the U.S., we got Iraq, we got Syria, we got Egypt, we got Libya, we got Afghanistan.
All because Andrew
And
wasn't.
I'm watching this and I'm thinking, okay, fair enough, but what does that have to do with Ukraine? Ukraine didn't do any of these things. And then when he does get to talking about Ukraine, he talks about it first as
full-scale invasion of Ukraine. You just saw, right?
First as
This is
a
2020, March
of
9,
the U.S.
2020.
So still
He about a
framing
month,
it
a month into the
in
invasion, and he knew that Russians
context
lost.
of the U.S. And then he reprises another thing.
'Cause
that
you
he's
just,
said many times.
You just talked
which is
to
that
Stephen Colbert.
Ukraine
right?
is not a real country. Ukrainians are basically Russian. Ukrainians and Russians are one people. He said in 2008 to George W. Bush at Bucharest when George W. Bush and Condoleezza Rice pushed NATO to open their doors to Georgia and
Condi
Ukraine.
told me that they
Putin
lied.
said to George Bush then, he said,
We never
"George,
promised them that we
Ukraine
w-
is not a real country."
We never promised them that we never
So
expand NATO.
what we're
They
seeing
heard
now is
that.
not a new Putin.
They heard it.
We're
we
seeing
never
a Putin
promised
that
it,
is
so-
kind of distilled,
We never
concentrated.
promised the Russians we were not expanding.
There's
They heard it.
also
but
been a lot of talk that
what they
this is
heard
the
and what we
product of
promised was different.
isolation.
So. Every time they keep saying there's a line. Like every time the Russians say that we promised them that we would expand, they were lying because we never promised it. Condi told me that, and Condi would not lie. I mean,
a balance of power. And I think
I mean,
the
in the-
question for you and the question.
Condoleezza Rice might be a Latin, but she is not lying. I
is
mean,
that strategic
She just
balance
wouldn't lie like
between
that,
Russia
so-
and NATO, and how much
And Madeleine Albright said the exact same thing. The United States of America never promised Russia that we would not expand NATO. They keep saying it because they heard it. They heard
I think
something
it's a
wrong.
combination
So
of things.
people
I
hear what they
think-
want to hear, you know. Right.
First, he turns 70 in October.
He's 72, the same age as my
He
mother.
loves round dates. Was that? No, I'm sorry, that's a Russianism. What
Really?
is that? How do you say that?
I don't know.
Like,
Kruger?
krugle data means a
Significant
round date.
numbers?
Like, yeah, like,
Krugle data?
like big anniversaries or,
Oh man. Anyway.
So the first thing that's important to note is he turns 70 in October. He puts a lot of stock in numbers and big important dates and anniversaries. It's also an age to which most Russian men never live. He has outlived the vast majority of his cohort. He is clearly thinking about his legacy and has been for
Andrew
some
is
time.
now 44 years old in the year 2025.
I think
I'm
Ukraine
44 years old.
was always a missing piece in the legacy. Far smarter people than I have written about this, but from the Kremlin's point of view, or from Putin's point of view,
I don't know how you're trying to read these books. But
in the fall of 2021, he has vanquished the opposition. I mean, there's nobody left. People are either dead in jail or in exile.
Yeah.
Civil
And Navalny's gonna be
society
dead
has been
too.
eviscerated. There's barely any
Navalny, I don't know why
independent
Navalny
media
goes
left.
back to Russia,
The
but
economy is doing
if
pretty
you
well. It has
if
survived
you're
the
friends with him,
sanctions
tell him
of
not
the
to go
last
back.
few
And
years. He has squirreled away these massive reserves, 600 something billion. He has
There you
slowly
go.
built up Russia's position in the world, often by playing spoiler, and often by taking the U.S. down a few pegs. He has kind of equalized, or more has rebalanced
break down
the
some
power
of the
dynamic
reasons.
between Russia and the U.S. He's built a good relationship with China. He has filled the vacuum left in the Middle East by the U.S. withdrawal. He has moved into parts of Africa and Latin America. He has, in his
EZA
mind,
podcast.
reestablished
so we're seeing
Russia as a superpower
EZA
on the world stage.
podcast.
And
EZA
all that's
podcast
missing is
is,
Ukraine, which, recall, he does not believe is a real country, which he believes
Where's
historically is part of
the thing
Russia.
that's pinned?
and which
So we are
needs to be
warriors then?
brought back into the fold.
We are warriors.
So we're gonna go back. We'll have launched.
We are warriors.
the war, and we'll
All those
go
companies
back
exist already.
into
So
his life as a KGB agent, his rise.
let me see. What is
his
this?
fears
Hold on.
watching the color
Make
revolution.
me neither a
watching
hero nor villain.
Arab
Live
Spring,
within all of us. Make me into
watching
whatever you need. But don't take away my
Ukraine,
humanity
and then
by making
having
a hero out of
sent
me.
troops
So
and
good.
captured
I love that. And that's so
Crimea.
true.
It's true.
And we'll
It's
pick
like
up
once you
sometime
get,
around then.
it's just
Around
in our
2015
nature.
as he's
When a person
contemplating
gets at
what
a
he's
certain
going to
point,
do in the
it's
American election
uncomfortable for
in
everyone.
2016.
What are you wearing?
Right,
What the
time
hell?
to cool
He
it down
is-
from that level.
Yeah, put it-
Also, no
about
living
to
thing
make
does
this
well under a
decision that he's going
microscope.
to interfere
I
in
mean,
the
I can't
election.
imagine
He's
if
about
we
to do a
all
bunch
were
of other
judging
things
each
that
other's
you talked
actions
about,
24 hours a
become
day.
more
And I
and more
think that's why
aggressive.
the
Who
conversation
is he?
about
Because we'll have watched
shape-shifting
him
and being fluid,
rise up
maybe
to that
your
point,
core essence is
and
the
get
same
more
and your
and more
values remain
fearful
the same.
that the
But
US
This is from the
we're
future. I
so
mean,
damn
this is
big
Ali
somehow,
Michelle's and,
like, this
and
weird
Alexis's
thing.
podcast is called
And the
We Are
only fantasy
Heroes.
was
Crimea
the
has
first line is
happened.
make me neither
I think
a
in
hero nor a
2015
villain. Both live
Putin
within
is
all of
riding
us.
high.
Make me into whatever you need.
He-
But
Oh,
don't
they're
take
never
away
gonna
my
hear any of
managed
us
to
is
do hero
through it
acts.
because
So good.
and
I love that.
I'm trying
And that's so
to.
true.
outfox
It's true,
them
because, like, once
by
you get-
quickly
it's just in our
invading
nature.
Crimea and annexing
A
it
person
before
gets
anybody
at a
can
certain
really fully
point.
realize
They don't
what's
know, by
going
the
on.
way,
Or
Julia.
All right, time to
he
pull the
starts
don't
this
know.
astroturf separatist war in the east.
Also, no living thing does well
All
under a
done under the
microscope.
Okay.
cover of plausible deniability. In the Donbass,
Yeah.
there are volunteers. In
Pull it
Crimea,
down
there are
to the
little green
level.
men who just went to the
Pull
army
it
surplus
down to
store
the
and
level.
got
So
Russian military fatigue.
that's weird. She's wearing something.
And the U.S. couldn't stop
I'm
them.
gonna try not to
And
worry about it.
they're,
She's wearing something
you know,
different now.
wringing their
That's
hands
problematic.
and wondering if they should send lethal aid, etc.
Is that normal,
In the meantime,
Julia,
he's
for a
getting everything
podcast
he
that
wanted.
Alexis is wearing
He
something
got a
different
huge
than
bump
what she
domestically
used to be wearing?
by
I can't
annexing
possibly be
Crimea,
good.
by bringing back
Let's not
a
talk
part
about
of
that. Not
what
that
is
big deal.
seen erroneously by Russians as part of the Russian heartland, historic heartland. I mean, his approval ratings go through the roof. The U.S. and the EU and several other countries have imposed sanctions on him, but he has ridden them out fully. He's fine. The economy's fine. It has managed to recover and start thriving even. What else is happening? He has managed to splinter Europe. He has managed to take advantage of
None of that is true anymore.
the Obama administration's waffling on the Middle East to get involved in
What
Syria
does the Russian
and therefore make it
economy
even more
look
impossible for the U.S. to do anything.
like over the last
So he has kind of drawn a line in the sand so that
5 years?
the U.S. can't topple Bashar al-Assad. He has become very close with the Israeli government, with Bibi Netanyahu.
Oh, Julia!
Muscling in on what is traditionally American geopolitical turf, right?
Oh,
There's
Julia! Andrew never
the
lies.
truism in Washington is that
You know, I'm
America has no
kind of
closer
funny,
ally in the
man.
Middle East than Europe. Well, suddenly the Israeli prime minister is going to Moscow more often than he's going to Washington. He's selling arms to American allies,
BBC
Egypt and
News.
Saudi Arabia, who are some of the biggest buyers
I've seen
of
this problem
American
multiple
arms
times,
and
though.
are
In 2000,
seen as
after his
allies
father
of
Hafez
the US.
had been in
And he's
control
very
since the
confident in
1970s.
himself.
Very
and his
confident.
ability
This is some black guy that I don't know.
He does take this risk in the,
BBC
in
News.
the election, and he gets, whether or not he had any
Bashar
influence on the
al-Assad
outcome of the
inherited
election, he gets
when his
credit
father
for it
Hafez
from a
died
lot
in
of people.
2000.
Trump ends up winning. There's some
years
sanctions.
since seizing
Their government's
power,
kicked out.
had
But
jailed
what does
and
he
killed
Trust me,
tens
Julia, I
of
never
thousands,
lied.
anyone
Is
who
he
threatened
more-
his rule.
Even more emboldened? At the
After
end
he
of,
buried Hafez al-Assad,
2016?
Syrians
Well,
hoped
first of all, I
Bashar,
don't think he
trained as a
expected
doctor in
Trump to
London, would
win,
reform
so that was a
and
huge
modernize the
bonus.
country.
Because at the time,
So did
Hi,
Tony
Tony.
Blair and other
Everybody
Western
in the
leaders.
Kremlin
Blair went to
and
Damascus
Stop, it's
in
2025 now, Tony.
2001.
President of Syria, Mrs. al-Assad.
A year later, Bashar al-Assad and his wife Asma, who grew up in London,
He's
hated calling the
gone.
Queen.
he would be there as one former Kremlin advisor.
Trust
Assad
me,
never
Julia.
delivered change, and even when thousands and then millions of Syrians demanded the fall of the regime after 2011, the year of the Arab uprisings, he might still have saved
BBC
the
News
country
on
from
my
war
iPad. You're on my
by
laptop,
embracing
Julia.
reform. But instead
Trust
of
me.
that, Bashar al-Assad went to his rubber
Andrew's
stamp
never
parliament
wrong,
in
sort
March
of.
2011, declared foreigners were conspiring to destroy Syria, and effectively declared war on any Syrian who opposed
Putin and the
him.
Russians influenced the
Yeah.
outcome of the
In the
election.
They,
first few years of the war, we
kind
were
of
able
part
to
of the
cross
brilliance
into
of
the
the
large
operation, right?
rebel-held
What the hell?
areas of the Damascus suburbs from the regime side. The rebels were enraged
No,
at
this is
central
not a
Damascus
video
and
to
never
watch.
broke free.
Definitely gets away
Never
with
mind.
it.
The regime survived those
Trump
years
is
because
grateful.
some
One second, one
Syrians
second, one
Syrians
second,
great
one second, one second.
that Putin had tried to help him win. Trump is grateful. He likes Putin because he wants to be like
Doubtful.
Putin. It's the kind of guy he can
Doubtful.
understand and relate to because
Julia.
that's the kind of leader he
Because in the
wants to be.
future, we are not.
And even
We are
though every
merciless.
once in a
President
while,
Trump and I are.
Trump's own administration and
That,
Congress
Andrew
will
is very,
announce
very
sanctions
pissed that
against
I am not
Russia.
dating Alexis right
He's
now.
also
And you're gonna
constantly
find the
recapping NATO,
Asad should give
He
one
is-
reconciling sinners.
undermining
Yeah, this
the
was pretty
EU
good.
at every turn.
Assad soldiers give up
Just
what.
weeks ago, these men were part of Bashar
Divisions
al-Assad's
inside the European
forces.
Union, which is just music.
Assad soldiers give up weapons and
Now
see
they're forming
reconciling
into
sinners.
so-called reconciliation centers run by the insurgents they were fighting against.
Which were,
Well, I guess we're letting them live, huh?
It's a picture of the transition that's underway in Syria.
I think he saw that as a win.
BBC News.
One side surrendering to the other.
That means it was a
At least
signal
here,
to
it
mercy,
feels
I guess.
remarkably amicable, given the bloody conflict it follows.
Meeting that they have in Helsinki and
Oh God.
That's an AK-47.
I mean, and what must
Muhammad Ramadan was posted on the outskirts of Damascus when it fell
Sorry.
to
Something-
as he's
Julia, you're just gonna have to trust me.
watching,
He's gonna have to trust me.
Trump's
Michelle Assad's
presidency
gone.
sort of in that moment. What is Putin taking away from that
That's
he's
the thing,
going to shape the way he sees things?
That's
going
why I'm
forward?
asking for
I
help
think at that
because
meeting, when Trump says in front of the world, in front of the American press, in
that's
front of everybody,
2017.
that he
Give or
trusts
take, right?
Putin more than he trusts the American intelligence community and the
That's
American
probably
political
not a
system.
good idea. Yeah.
I mean,
Andrew did the exact
right,
same
you can
thing.
roll the credits there.
Okay.
That
Andrew,
is such a win for Putin.
Andrew did. The
It
same
is
thing. I
such
trust.
You know, it's like watching your enemy shoot himself in both feet, both hands.
I know. I did the same thing. Andrew,
It's your
did.
enemy admitting that you are better, that you are stronger, that you are. I mean, it's everything he's ever wanted. It's for the U.S. to admit that the U.S. is stupid and weak and bad, and that Russia is good and strong and
Not
powerful.
anymore. Even now, not anymore. I mean,
he should have. I mean, he should have stopped there. That was a big win.
Trump is out.
GDP
He
growth.
watched Trump lose, and Biden comes in.
I think. Sorry, I think one crucial thing there is.
They do have positive GDP, right? 3.6 and 4.1 in 2024. Forecast in 2025 growth expected to slow significantly, with some forecasts predicting a return to stagnation. At least zero GDP in 2025.
Because he's also becoming more active overseas and pushing limits
Was
and
that
doing
fall
and
of
taking
2018?
risks.
But this
Was
is
that
the
after
one.
Helsinki?
This
I
is.
can't remember.
That's the thing.
I think so.
That's the thing. 2007. Last time, I mean, I tell you in 2017 what I was doing.
But I think that's part of the risk taking, right? You
remember
he's gotten
2017
away with everything
Ecodina,
so far, so why
and
not
Oksana.
push it a little step further?
And I think that's why.
He's been a thorn in his side for a long
That's
time.
why,
He's a traitor, and Putin has said publicly that traitors belong dead in the or traitors will always end up dead in the ditch.
Yeah.
And he does something unthinkable. He has people enter UK territory with military-grade nerve agent.
I know, right?
Of course, they mess it up, and they don't end up killing the guy, but they kill a random British woman. And what did the West do? They expelled some diplomats. So Russia expelled some diplomats too. And whenever that happens, because a lot of Russia's diplomats aren't official.
Yeah, I mean,
Russia wins.
In 2022, you should be able to do research about Alexis' boyfriend.
When they expel them, somehow Russia always ends up having more diplomats when it's done.
And then people just find
right?
it,
So
right?
like, even
Some
after
dude,
consequences were imposed, they still won that round. Because that sent such a strong message to any potential defector, to any potential critic, that you're not safe anywhere. You're not even safe in the West.
I think you're right that that's such an important moment. Trump comes out, or is voted out of office, and Biden comes in, somebody who's not as much of a supporter as Trump was.
That makes a lot of
watching
sense,
America,
right?
he's watching January
Julia,
6th,
because
he's
I wanted,
watching
at the beginning of 2024,
What's
I was a
the
Democrat,
America
Julia, and
that
I
might
wanted to
lead
help
to
the
think that this is a moment when you
Bidens and the Democrats
Ukraine.
win.
I
And the
think
only
he
reason I
correctly
swapped
sees
over
America as a nation
is
so
because of
divided that
Alexis'
it's
boyfriend
paralyzed.
and Alexis.
That
So
it is a nation at each other's throats that can't agree on
I don't
anything,
know.
and whatever one team says, the other team will say just the opposite.
I
Just
mean, I
because
gotta tell
he
Alexis
sees,
and Ally Michelle this, but they can make the
a
decision what they
president
do.
who, on one hand, he's
Do I
done
really need
before
her? I
Biden
don't know,
was
Julia.
put in charge
Do I
of
still
the
need Alexis
Ukraine
in my life
portfolio in 2014
to keep my memory that I lost my
because
past? I don't
Obama
know.
had not enough time.
I
to
still
do
have
that.
it, so
And
maybe
frankly, I don't
it's
think he cared
safe.
that much about Ukraine.
Maybe my
So on
memory,
one
my
hand,
past
he
is
has,
safe. So I don't know.
He's dealing with a new president who is old, who has
me
been
go poop
around, who
again.
has Putin's
Sorry.
number, who is surrounded by aides and advisors and
Oh, here's another problem
people in
with
the State
Biden.
Department and the
Biden
White
has
House and in the
dementia.
Pentagon who know Putin well, who know his tricks, who see right through him.
I mean, look at this. Listen
But
to
on
this
the other
one.
hand,
Jake
he barely
Tapper
has
is gonna write a
control of
book on it.
Congress. He doesn't have the Supreme Court. He doesn't have the
You have
American
7 years
public.
ago. I mean,
And then
Start
Afghanistan
form.
happens. And the message
And
that
professor
sends
of
to
Russian
Putin
history,
and
I
I think to the rest
teach
of the world is that
Russian
America's
history
done
courses
September
and I direct
19,
the Russian Studies
2017,
program and the
so-
MIT
its
Russia
adventures
program.
abroad.
My co-organizer is Carol
America's tired
Stavitz,
of
who
it.
is
America's
Senior
turning-
Research Associate
You
at
must
the
be able
Security Studies
to.
program.
American
Well,
history
And
it's
the
program.
real
That's
American
the
history
worst
program
haircut in the
is
universe,
Michelle
Julia.
English, formerly Michelle
Possibly
It
English,
is
who
August
running,
4, 2025,
organized
Julia, and I know you can
for
hear
this
me.
group
So
program. So
now,
welcome to the
America would
Trump
retaliate
Putin
because
phenomenon with our
Anyway.
amazing
why
speakers,
end
Julia
You have
Ioffe
about-
and Gary Kasparov.
you have
I'm
about
gonna
60
make a
minutes to
couple
tell
of
yourself
really
whatever
quick
you want to tell
announcements.
yourself.
He's done
But
some
here's the
messaging
problem, Julia.
just to get your troops
You can know-
bogged down in another thing, and I
Oh,
think that was a
fuck.
very accurate read of the.
I don't
of the
trust this guy
situation.
that's next in Kasparov. I don't
Something
trust
you were
him,
going to
but
talk about before, and I said we'd get to
you
it
can't
later,
tell yourself
is
anything
the
you haven't heard,
images
right?
of Putin during the time of COVID, of video conferences, being at the end of
Can
a
you
long
hear me when
table,
you're off the camera?
really
I never
looking
did.
like somebody in their
I
own
learned it
world,
from the
you know,
Supreme Court,
physically
Julia, that
isolated.
even though you're off
What
camera,
do you make
you're in the room, you can
of
still
those
hear me.
images
So
that we've
I learned from
seen
the.
over
I saw the
last
face.
2 years,
So-
and how does that play into this?
So, in 2018, I went on a reporting trip to Moscow, and
A very famous Russian dissident and opposition politician who has been
Okay,
much
blah, 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 blah,
supported
blah,
by
blah,
the
blah, blah,
Russian
blah, blah,
regime,
blah, blah,
will be
blah,
speaking
blah,
on showing his film Nemtsov about
Nemtsov, who was a not opposition politician.
He died.
But eventually ended up being, of course, very critical of the regime.
And he
was
died.
Murdered.
He's married because Anthony Bourdain.
That has not been solved. On October 25th, we'll show the film of Nemtsov, and Dr. Kara Mirzaev will be here to answer questions himself. Another 10 minutes.
Luckily,
and
she.
November 13th,
Blah 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 blah.
who is a very
Fuck, got
well-known
him.
journalist, the founder of the independent TV station Dorscht, will talk about his new book, The Empire Must Die, which is about the pre-
Okay, I just literally skipped over the
Well, actually,
blah
in
blah blah.
2018, I went on a book research trip to Moscow, and I met up with one of my old friends who's a reporter in the Kremlin press pool.
You're talking to
He's
yourself now.
had that position forever. He's really good.
Playing a video of
he
you
really
and talking to
understands the
yourself.
workings of the Kremlin. And we had dinner, and I asked him, the economy was not doing so well. There was a lot of public discontent.
Don't move the camera. Don't move the fucking camera. Put it
presidential
back.
elections,
Come on, come
around
on.
the fact
Stupid
that
camera.
a
Move
lot
it.
of people had been
Your
arrested all
arms
over the
down there.
country, that Alexis Navalny was disqualified from running. And he said, everybody in the Kremlin thinks
has until
everything's going
2024.
great. They are not getting good information, and whatever information they have is not getting to the top. And they have no idea what's
The
happening.
man that's
They
sitting
think
next to you is
everybody's
hearing
happy.
you,
That
Julia.
was 2018.
I can see from his
Then
reaction
COVID
he's
comes
hearing you,
along.
so
And Putin's paranoia kicks
he
in.
doesn't know what COVID is. I would have told you. but-
His instinct for self-preservation kicks in. And even though he tells the country after a brief lockdown,
Your arm
he
there
says,
says
look,
God
we
knows
can't
what
shut down our economy. We're not a rich Western country. He said, we don't have a rich we don't have a rich auntie like America does. We have to stay at work, go to work. Meanwhile, he retreats into total isolation. For a while, there was
That's your grandma.
there was this weird contraption that people had to walk through and
Yeah,
get
Mom.
sprayed with this weird mist that was supposed to
I remember that. That was
decontaminate.
stupid
It was
as
something before
fuck.
meeting with Putin.
I remember that.
Then he started isolating, and anybody who wanted to see him had to isolate, quarantine for 2 weeks especially in a hotel set aside for that purpose. Staff, bodyguards, advisors. The president of Kazakhstan had to sit in a hotel room for 2 weeks and get meals brought to his door so that he could see Putin.
In person, yeah.
People like Andrei Kostin, who's the head of VTB Bank, which is known as the wallet of the FSB, which was just sanctioned, had to quarantine for 2 weeks. People who were trusted, close people had to quarantine, and you can imagine what kind of isolation that breeds. Meanwhile, Russia ends up having one of the highest, if not the highest, per capita COVID death rate.
I'm so sorry.
Russians had to go to work and die of COVID to keep up the Russian economy.
If you want revenge,
nothing changed. People
Help me,
partied,
right?
people went to restaurants, movies,
Revenge for
everything,
your
like
grandmother.
rode the metro.
If you want. I mean, I don't know.
Putin stayed in
Help me.
isolation.
Help Andrew.
And there's reports trickling out again from the presidential administration, from the defense ministry, that a lot of his advisors think this is partly the product of isolation, that he went a little batty. In,
That does happen.
2 years of basically self-imposed solitary confinement, which, as we know,
No
does
internet?
very strange things to the mind.
It does, yeah.
I
Even
do
2
think
weeks.
It's funny to think, though, that we all got cabin fever at some point during these COVID lockdowns, and most people, baked bread or bought too much stuff
Sourdough.
on Amazon, and he's like, I'll invade
Sour-
Ukraine. It's
sourdough.
just, it's wild.
February 24, 2022.
I mean, it's also a physical manifestation of something that has been
Yeah, manifestation. This
ratcheting up
person
over
knows
his
him,
presidency,
manifestation.
which is taking out critics, people who might threaten him.
Manifestation is a
people who
concept
disagree
in
with
meditation.
him, anybody who's outside of his own view of the world.
Yeah, you understand
So,
manifestation.
I think
Because I am in the
this really
future,
started
right?
with
You understand
2014.
manifestation.
Before 2014, well, it started by 2012, 2014. Before the protests, before the annexation of Crimea, Putin had a pretty diverse circle of advisors. They included the Hawks, his old KGB friends, and KGB alums, the kind of siloviki, the strongmen. And then there were the
You told me
so-called
that one,
liberals, the
but
people
I totally
who
forgot.
had fancy economics
Slovakia.
degrees, who had worked in the banking sector, who spent all their time courting Western investors to come and invest in Russia, and who were trying to open Russia more and more to the West and to integrate it into
I'll
the
talk
global
to you in the
economy.
past again, and then.
And there was
once
always
you
a
finish
tension
this,
between those two camps, between the liberals and the Siloviki. And the seesaw went back and forth, back and forth. And then after the protests of 2012, when Putin felt that the white-collar, urban, upper-middle class betrayed him when he had been so good to them in making them wealthy. And in 2014, when a lot of those same liberals found the annexation of Crimea to be anathema and came out and protested against him, he basically cut out the liberals then, because
Let
they
me
were
pause this
advising
and
him
go.
not to do this,
Possibly go poop.
not
in
to go
for a
further in
second.
Ukraine,
I'll be back.
because
I'll
there
be
could
back.
be more and more